Hello YouTube, Marielle here, and yes, today is still Sunday the 31st of July 2016, and this is I made a video earlier, and I've just posted it, and I have to make this video as well, and I'm just taking the opportunity here because I'm alone in the house. My wolf and my daughter have actually gone to see Born, Matt Damon's new movie. So they're going to be there for quite a while, and I decided, I had, I had a few things that I wanted to talk about and share with you, and I thought, let me just take this opportunity to do that. Of course, they invited me, to go and join them, but I decided to skip it and make the most of my free time to do this, and and organize a few things very quickly around the house as well. One of the things I wanted to talk about just now is the fact that I noticed, even just as I took my husband, as I took my wolf and my daughter to the movies, as we were driving in the car, and my husband just went, oh, very nonchalantly, just went, oh, by the way, such and such person, are you still in touch with them? I knew you are getting on very, very well together. Are you still in touch with that person? And I did what I normally, I usually do, just straight out with my blip, 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 give my answer to him. And then he went on to say, oh yes, I was just thinking about, that person that just passed us in the car looks so much like that person, and it's just made me think of her, and that was the end of it. And this is how my husband has always fished informations out of me. Always. It's never been, it's always been like that. Very calmly, in a very nonchalant manner, almost like he doesn't take any interest in my answer. He will explain away why he actually asked the question, but in such a regular way that it never occurred to me that what he was actually doing was fishing for information or extra information, or trying to, if I was lying, then maybe I might give a different answer to what I'm actually doing, or his way of sussing me out, kind of thing. Always asking for questions that really, actually, when you think about it, he should already know. And it's like they say, knowledge is really power, because like with him, there is never any way of suspecting him. My wolf is so good, you can't suspect him unless you know what you're looking for. And with them, and especially somebody like him, he's so covered. He's so under the radar. He's so much like a submarine in everything he does. You just can't see him coming. Unless you know what you're looking for, unless you've learned or you've seen this before, or you know what he looks like, what he talks like, how he moves, you just can't suspect him at all. Except for the some strange things that like I mentioned before, one day out of the blue, he just slammed his fist on the table for no good reason. And that was so quick, you know. It's a case of a flash of anger and back, and you're left reeling. You don't know what happened. And those kind of moments they happened so rarely. You can't help but automatically dismiss them as a crazy moment, or dismiss them as you being the cause of it, because it's so unusual. So for it to happen, the only reason can only be that you've caused it. You must have, even though you don't know what you've done, but you can, the only way you can rationalize it is by blaming yourself. And yes, it's just like they say, really, knowledge is power. So at the moment, even though he's only been back like for 2 days, really, it's very disconcerting to watch and observe my family dynamic at the moment. And even though my ship is sinking, I'm trying to become the observer of this phase of my life. You know, this morning I woke up and truly I just did not want to face the day. I just did not want to leave my bed. I just did not have the courage to face the day. And but suddenly, you know, there was this idea that just you know, just came into my mind, and the idea to become present and to observe rather than participate, you know, could be potentially beneficial to me. You know, that idea just basically just dawned on me, came to me just out of nowhere. And really, the minute that thought crossed my mind, my entire attitude went from, you know, poor me, oh my god, what am I going to do today, to actually having that extra courage to just get on with it and get out of bed. And also I have to say, my anxious feelings as well just you know, went away. All those negative emotions that I woke up with truly subsided. So here we are, three of us, my wolf, myself, and my husband, having this very weird way of connecting, or of being inside the house. A very strange dynamic. And obviously there is nobody else, you know, to see. It's just all behind closed doors. And we're playing this very weird game where everyone knows, yes, everyone knows that the other person is bullshitting. Yes, because I know now that my husband is bullshitting, right? And thanks to my daughter, my husband knows as well I'm bullshitting. And the three of us are playing this weird game. I'm sure maybe title of a movie or something similar will come to mind for one of you, the watchers, and please, if you do, just let me know. But this is just so twisted and just so strange, and yet there is no way of escaping it. At this point there is no way of stopping it, because I am trying to survive. I'm trying to keep things level as much as possible, and I'm trying to figure out, you know, ways to get myself out of this situation. And until then I have to play this game, and this is the game that he has been playing long before I even he has been playing this game with me for 24 years, and me not even realizing it, not even knowing. And like, you know, the youngsters would say these days, whatever. So you have my daughter on one side, you know, acting all sweetly, but distant, but very, very distant with me. And sometimes all of a sudden she, since her dad has actually returned, since he's been back, you'll see her starting talking to me as if I am the child in this in this relationship, you know. And also both of them, they've resumed their usual whispering campaign that usually stops as soon as I walk into the room. It's ugh, it's just so hurtful. It really is. It really just makes me feel just, you just don't know where to put yourself. You just don't know what to think of yourself. It's so bad. It's so bad. But then I suppose that's exactly why he encourages it, and that's exactly the intention and behind it, and it's working. So on the other side, you know, you have my husband, and who is acting like a cool cucumber, nothing phases him, you know. He talks and the lies just fall out, the lies just fall out of his mouth as easy as clear liquid, you know, just blip 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 blip, you know. He says one thing and then he'll go and contradict himself in the next sentence, and then the very next time the subject is brought up, he'll contradict himself again, or he'll move one information or omit one part of that same information, and I'm left looking like, oh gosh, really? And with him there is no hesitation, there is no doubt, nothing. It just comes out as if it was the truth, you know. Thankfully, I'm aware now of his pathology, and because I am, it's a real trip to see that show. It's literally mesmerizing. It truly is. It's like, wow, dude, you're good. And the thing is, at no point I want to take a hammer or piece of something and bang him over the head. I just laugh. It just makes me laugh. But it's weird, but I have to say the weirdest so far is to watch him act just like me. When there's just the two of us, he acts very distant, closed, slightly nervous, and even shy. And also I noticed that he even recoiled slightly when I brushed his hand by accidentally, and he did everything just like I did the day before. Yesterday, you know, everything he does looks just like me, and it feels like he's mirroring me. He's acting just like me, and how insane is that? How totally mind-boggling is that? To see him behave like that, it's almost as if he's the one who's afraid of me. It's a complete role reversal. It's move on. And then at the same time he behaves like that, all of a sudden again he just wants to buy me things, and suddenly he he tells me, oh, come over here, I've got something to show you. And I'm just like, oh, you and your come over here. It's like, no, come over here. You know, and he wants to show me his computer, and then he goes, look at those bikes, so which one do you like? And I'm just like, ooh, taken by surprise, and I don't understand. And suddenly he wants to buy me a moped, one of those little scooter or Vespas, and it's something that I've asked for quite a while now, and he just wasn't even paying attention. And then suddenly he wants to buy that for me, and he also wants to buy me a brand new car, because our car, the car I'm driving, is kind of old, and we finished paying the loan on it like in about 2 months. So now he wants to buy me a brand new car, and the thing is, I've never, since I've been with him, I've always gone automatically to purchase what do you call that? A second-hand car. I've always done that. I've always gone for that in order to save money. Just wanted to save money, and here he's just wanting to spend the money, and when actually not so long ago he was claiming out loud just how much we're not saving and we don't have any money, and all of those things that are completely crazy, because I know he's hiding money from us, and we don't have any financial issues of any kind. I spend so little myself, between me and the children and the way I've organized the children and their education. He's spending nothing. I know that. And he's constantly saying that we don't have money. And here he is now all of a sudden coming here and is splurging on me. So you will understand that I am beyond nervous. It feels like he has something up his sleeves. He's obviously sweetening me. He's trying to sweeten me for something. I just don't know what it is. Because this is one of the things he's always done with me as well. Before taking a big chunk out of me, he basically will act like super nice, very loving, very full of attention, and doing all of those things that he never does, and then suddenly he's so sweet and nice and all of those things. And then and when I'm not ready, when I completely relaxed and my guards are all down, then he comes and basically just bite me out, takes a huge piece of my of anything in my body, and then his attacks always comes out of nowhere and at the least expected moment. It's like, the mosquitoes, that's what they do, they anesthetize. They basically put an anesthetic on your, before biting you, and most of the time you realize that they've beaten you when they're long gone, and then you're left scratching, but they're gone, and my wolf does exactly the same thing, and truly nothing makes sense. It's obvious he is gaining advantage over me because I'm trying to make sense of his disordered mind to try to protect myself. And some of the things that I'm trying to figure out here is, number one, is he putting on this show for his daughter to try to show her how nice he is to me and how ungrateful I am, because because of the way I've been, because of the stuff that I've shared with her that she repeated to him. So is he trying to is that his way of doing the damage control, damage control on our perception of him? I can't help wonder. Number two, the question I'm asking myself is he going through his need to indulge in his impulsivity, because he's a very impulsive guy type of person. It doesn't happen very often, but every now and then he has those very impulsive habit of just going and spending money. He just feels, it looks like he just needs to spend it, and that has happened quite a few times during our relationship. And at the time I thought he was just being generous, but what I know now is this is one of their traits. It's part of who they are being impulsive, and in some people it's doing really, really stupid things, and with people like him who has money, it's spending it. And other people, I guess, it's being physically violent with other people. So they have different ways to display that impulsivity. So I'm wondering, this is just if this is just one of the phases in, it's a niche, he has to scratch it. And third, the question that I'm actually as well trying to figure out here is if his need to be adored and worshipped is being hindered by my behavior, so he's going, overdrive to try to compensate and trying to force me basically into that position where I will have to say thank you, I'll have to be grateful, and I have to show it, and I have to smile, I have to do all of those things that, at the moment I am being I'm pulling back a little bit, I'm holding on to myself a little bit, and that's his way of, nicely, holding my head and trying to make me do those things for him, because this is something he needs. He needs to be worshipped, he needs to be liked, he needs to be thanked, he needs to be noticed, he needs, all of those things that they tend to be. And my fourth thing that fourth question I have, and I'm trying to figure out as well, is if he's just getting ready for, I'm trying to figure out if basically he's just getting himself ready for a massive rug pulling from under my feet type of move, because this is one of the things that they do, he does anyway, my wolf does, basically just cause you pain, build your eye up so he can just drop you, and so you can suffer and you can feel it. So the fifth question in all of that is maybe all of those four things are neatly weaved together to give him a guaranteed narcissistic supply, no matter which way I am going to sway at the end, because that's just it. At the end of it, he needs fed, so he's doing his usual multi-layer attacks that no matter which way I go will provide him with something that he needs, which is narcissistic supply. So it could be that all of those things are all tightly bound together quite easily. But for me, I have to try to beyond trying to figure out what his end game is, I need to figure out exactly what I want out of that situation, because it's gonna happen no matter what. So what do I want to gain out of that situation? Should I accept his offer and allow him to play his game and kind of reel me in, in a hope that maybe once I get, those things he wants to throw at me, I can use them and sell them later, and I can sell them down the road to fund my the cost of my divorce, and as well as the cost of my living. Please comment below and do let me know what you think. But actually, before I go, there is something I wanted to I almost forgotten, and I wanted to mention as well, is that I made a big mistake earlier during the day. It happened so quickly, I had no time to hold my tongue, and I think this is one of the things that for me it's going to be very, very challenging, because like I said, it's easier when you don't know what's happening sometimes, because now that I'm aware and I see what he does, and I know some of the meanings of what he's doing with me, it can be very challenging for me to just keep my mouth shut, because my instinct is to just address the problem, or just go and say whatever is in my heart, and it's very, very hard, and I've made a mistake earlier today. Basically he did his usual covert narcissistic thing that he does best, to fish and trying to grab my my attention. So basically, being the covert narc that he is, he's always trying to find a way to grab my attention, or get me to admire him, or use my empathy, or that he doesn't even deserve, whether it's my attention, my sympathy, or my empathy, or my reassurance for that matter. But he did his usual move, so he came and he was starting to say, to complain how he just, while he was fixing his bike outside, he burnt his finger. And I did what I normally do automatically. I started to empathize, and I was like starting to ask, wanting to ask questions like, oh, what happened? How are you okay? Show me. All that, I was starting to do all of that when it just hit me that that's what he does all the time. And so, because just the day before, that's yesterday, he came with an amazing story of how he fainted, and he fell, and he cracked his head, and he hurt so bad, and now he's going slightly bald on back of his head, and not slightly, actually he's bald, he's getting there, more than there. And I went and inspected it. There was no sign of anything, because if you fall on your head and you crack your head the way he said and the way he described it, there would have been still swollen or a dark patch. There would have been a sign of something, and there was nothing. So I bet he was lying just to get my attention and my sympathy and my reassurance, and pull that out of me when actually he doesn't even need it, just basically just to get that supply out of me. And so he did that already yesterday, and then today he told me that again, and suddenly I just it just came out of me. I couldn't stop myself, and I just went, you know what? How come you're always wanting me to actually feel sorry for you and help you and pay attention to you when you're hurting, when in fact when it happens to me, you don't care? So, if that's the case, you need to stop and just not bother me with those things. And he said something to me back, and I just said, fuck off. And what happened is that I was carrying something, and I was midway through the door frame, and I hadn't noticed he was actually right behind me, because I was, I was saying all of those things, I was talking and walking, and I didn't realize he was actually right behind me, and he had opened the door and he was holding the door. And as I went through the door, he literally just pretended to just slam the door on me, to kind of slam the door on me. And he pretended he didn't do it, but and then it just dawned on me, oh, I should have kept my mouth shut, and then and basically after that he went back and inside the house, and he disappeared for like 1 hour. He disappeared for like 1 hour, never said anything or anything like that. And I just realized I just possibly caused him a narcissistic injury. And things like that are very, very small to give, and I should oblige to keep him at that level, because not giving him that supply means that he has to do something possibly a little bit more extreme to get what he needs. So I have to go on with that. And right there at that moment, it just didn't occur to me. I was just fed up, and I have to learn to be very, 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 very careful with that. And but it's just kind of hard to become Meryl Streep all of a sudden. I'm no actress, and it's extremely challenging. And also I have been feeling very stressed prior to him coming back, and with him here, my stress level have gone up even higher. And even though he has done nothing mean or disobliging or disparaging in any way, I'm still very tense inside, because I am expecting something, and I am right to expect something, but the tension is so bad and so much that I know it's seemed too much, but for those of you, please plug your ears if you don't want to hear it. But my period have literally started 2 weeks before their due date, and this is just how stressed I feel. Even my body is actually going like, oh. But anyway, so this is just what I wanted to talk about, and this is a long video. Hopefully you're still here and listening. So thank you.